AI is incredibly powerful, but it has one massive problem. It always forgets the context of your business. And if you're in commercial real estate, you know that's a big problem. You got information in your offering memorandums, in your CRM, in your notes, all over the place. Today, we're gonna show you how to build an AI memory layer using Obsidian. We're gonna keep it simple, super practical, and I'm gonna walk you through the exact step-by-step process. Before we build anything, let me show you what Obsidian is. Obsidian is a note taker, a knowledge base, simply put. Okay, what it does is that it stores information locally on your computer. All right, so any AI that is able to access information on your computer will be able to access this Obsidian vault. So all of your files are private. As you can see in our documents folder here, if we were to click into a sample Obsidian vault, this is what one could look like. We created this one for commercial real estate brokers in another video. All right, but we have company profile, we have contacts, listings, comps, market notes, templates, insights, a bunch of information here. And if you were to click into each one of these, everything is saved as a markdown file, which makes it easy for the AI to access. Here's the actual Obsidian interface. Okay, and just what I showed to you guys in the File Explorer, you could see all of that is stored here. So anytime we add a note to Obsidian, it's automatically gonna get stored into our File Explorer as a markdown file. So let me show you how to create a new Obsidian vault. We're gonna go to Manage Vaults. I'm gonna click Create. Now let's call this vault CRE Broker Demo. We're gonna create this vault specifically for commercial real estate brokers. So we'll give it a nice title. Let's pick the location. We're gonna save it in our Documents folder. And then let's go ahead and hit Create. So now we have a blank Obsidian vault. We're gonna add a bunch of stuff to it. We're gonna include things like who we are, the context of our business. And the more information you give it, the better off it's gonna be. Remember, this is context that we're trying to give to the AI. It's such an important concept. Without context, the AI is going to make assumptions. And if it's gonna make assumptions, that's what leads to hallucination. So by building this vault, by making it comprehensive, by making it thorough, we're gonna give the AI as much information as possible about us. And remember, okay, because these files are saved locally on your computer, Claude could go down and disappear tomorrow, and that won't affect us because ChatGPT or some of these other large language models have the ability to access files on our computer as well. And all of a sudden we could use ChatGPT and it's gonna have all the context on our business, right? So this is really, really important to have this type of infrastructure. So we're gonna build the vault. And I'm gonna keep it nice and simple for you, okay? But on the other side of my screen here, I already have a prompt, which I'm gonna copy and paste and put into Claude. And what we're looking at here is Claude Code on the desktop. It's important that we are using Claude Code, or you could use Claude Cowork, because those two could access the files locally on your computer. You won't be able to do it with chat. So I'm gonna copy and paste that prompt, and in it, we have the following. I created an empty Obsidian vault located in my Documents folder. The vault is called CRE Broker Demo. Use that exact folder. Do not create another vault or work somewhere else. I am a commercial real estate broker. I want this vault to serve as a local memory and context layer that any AI could read, not just you. Also create a readme.md file that explains the vault structure, naming conventions, required fields, and operating rules. Bear with me please, okay, we're almost done. An index.md file, a consistent blank template for every note type, structured front matter that makes the information easy to search and analyze, rules for checking for duplicates, creating contact listings, rules for linking related contacts, listings, comps, and notes using wiki links. Let's go ahead and send it. Quick break. I see a lot of AI tools for commercial real estate. Most are demos. Lev is one of the few I would tell a serious CRE team to actually use. It's not just financing software anymore. Lev gives you ready-to-use AI apps and agents for research, comps, deal materials, outreach documents pipeline, and team workflows. Go to lev.com, create an account, get 2,000 free credits, and make sure to tell them Jake sent you if you want another $500 in free credits. We are going to start building the vault. As you can see here, it already found it on our documents folder. So as you can see, it has located this folder structure here. Now, there was a lot in that prompt, a lot of terms, this, that, and one another. Don't worry about it, okay? I'm going to get you guys this prompt. You'll be able to easily copy and paste it for yourself, okay? But Claude is going to work now. All right, and just so you understand what's going to happen in this video, we're going to create the vault. We're going to run two skills, all right? A ingest skill, where anytime we attach information, etc., the AI is going to automatically put it into our vault. And then we're going to run a query skill, where anytime we want to access that context, we can do so. After that, we're going to showcase two examples where we actually attach an offering memorandum, have it ingest into the vault, okay? And then we're going to query that vault with a couple different examples as well. So it looks like Claude has started creating our vaults. All right, so as you can see here, we are starting to get our structure, and this is wonderful. We have our little graph here, and the idea is that everything kind of connects to one another, all right? Okay, but it is following instructions exactly as we asked it to do. This is wonderful. All right, so it's gonna keep working. We got our vault dialed in. Good job, Claude. Let's take a look at what's going on. So we got all of our different folders here. Now, what I want to show you is what I call the constitution. In other words, our README file right here. Now, what this file does is it explains to any AI that's going to access our vault how to use it. You can see the folder structure in the README file. You can see the different naming conventions, different rules, the front matter rule, never invent missing information, basically the rules to the game. That is a really, really important file. I call it the constitution. What I want to do is I want to give it some more context on myself. And I'm going to use my handy dandy whisper flow, guys. Voice dictation is incredible. I'm going to say this. My name is Jake Heller. And let's assume I'm a real estate broker, a commercial real estate broker at Marcus and Millichap, license number 12345. You get the idea. I sell apartment buildings in Los Angeles. Let's update our company profile in the Obsidian vault, please. So we're going to hit send there. And what should happen is within the company folder here, we're going to include a breakdown of who we are. So we're going to allow this here. It is checking for any existing Marcus and Millichap or Jake Heller notes. It is now creating the Marcus and Millichap markdown file. .md is the markdown file. And so let's go in. It looks like it just created that for us. So we have a Marcus and Millichap markdown file, as you can see here, and a Jake Heller markdown file. And let me show you what this means. If we go into our documents folder here, and now we go into that company folder, you'll see those two markdown files live right here. And just to show you guys what a markdown file looks like, nothing sexy, all right? But there's a markdown file for you. Now what's gonna happen is we're gonna continue to add to our Obsidian vault here. And the next thing that I'm gonna show you guys is how to build two skills, like I said, the ingest skill and the query skill. So before we create this skill, let me explain to you what a skill is. I think the simplest way to describe a skill is very specific instructions for the AI to follow. Think of like a standard operating procedure. So let's go ahead and create our first skill. This is the ingest skill. All right. So anytime we trigger this skill, the AI is going to process that information intelligently and then store it in the right locations of our vault. So let's go ahead and do this. I already put a little prompt together for us, guys. And we want to create a reusable skill called Broker Vault Ingest. All right, the vault is located in our documents folder called CRE Broker Vault. CRE broker, what the heck is the name of it? CRE broker demo. Whenever I attach a document, paste information, forward an email, or provide notes that I want saved, the skill must do the following. Read the vault's README, identify what the information is. You get the idea. It's going to do all these different things. So again, very specific instructions. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit go on this. And now it might take a little bit of time to build this skill. Be patient, don't worry. It might even ask you some questions. That's totally okay. But once we build this skill, okay, anytime we want to store information in the vault, we're going to trigger this skill and it is going to know exactly what to do. So here we go. This calls for building a new Claude Code skill. Let me load the skill creator skill. So there is a skill that Claude already has. It is automatically there, okay, because it's Claude's, that knows how to create skills for you. So don't worry about actually knowing how to create these skills, okay? Just communicate with Claude and have it build this skill for you. So as you can see, it's running that skill creator skill right now. Skill creator skill. They don't make it easy for you. But anyways, don't worry about the whole technical terms and things like that. Just follow what we're doing exactly. You'll get the hang of it. It's pretty straightforward and easy to set up, okay? So once this skill is done, we're gonna build our query skill, okay? So processing the information to go into the vault and then processing the information to go out of the vault. Very simple, all right? So give it a second. We'll circle back once that skill is complete. I look at AI tools for commercial real estate every single day. Many look very cool. There's only a few which are platforms I'd tell a serious CRE team to build on. Lev is one of them. If you still think of Lev as just a financing software, take another look. Lev is an AI platform for commercial real estate professionals, brokers, developers, investors, asset managers, lenders, and the teams that want AI inside the work, not sitting off in a side tab. You get ready to use apps and agents for pipeline management, staying on top of relationships, market research, comps, deal materials, outreach, documents, and so much more. If you want to build your own workflows, Lev gives you the hard stuff already handled: deals, contacts, documents, permissions, approvals, and CRE context. That matters. Building AI from scratch sounds easy until you have to maintain it, add users, and make it reliable for real work. Lev gives you a serious base, then lets you customize on top with incredible documentation, APIs, and MCPs to build with. Go to lev.com, make a free account, and you'll get 2,000 free credits. And for a limited time, tell them Jake sent you, and we'll add another $500 in free credits. That is lev.com. Tell them Jake sent you. So first skill is now done. As you can see, it is created at this specific location, okay? And now with Claude Code, it's a little bit different than with Claude Chat. Okay, with Claude Chat, if you go into Customize, you'll be able to see all the skills here. Okay, but with Claude Code, they get stored in a totally different location. I am going to show you right here. So there's that skill file, all right? It's also as a markdown file. Let's go ahead, and now we're going to create the query skill. So we're going to keep building off of this same chat here. And again, I got my handy dandy prompt already written out for us here. And with this one, we're going to create a reusable skill named Broker Vault Query. Pulling information out. All right, the vault is located in our documents folder called CRE Broker Demo. Whenever I ask a question related to my brokerage business, the skill must do the following. All right, we're going to hit send. I doubt it'll ask us any questions. If you wanted to add an extra step and say, hey, please ask me questions before building the skill, that's totally fine too. Thinking back on it, probably should have done that. So you should definitely do that. Okay, again, less assumptions, the better. So companion skill to the ingest one, perfect. We're gonna hit always allow in this case. It's gonna go ahead and create that skill. It should just take a second. And then once this skill is done, I'm gonna show you guys some live examples using 2 real offering memorandums in our folder here. So now we have both of these skills done, okay? And I'm going to show you guys 2 examples using 2 offering memorandums, real deals. Okay, now we should be able to trigger those skills, which we have broker vault query. So now you can see broker vault query and broker vault ingest. This is wonderful. So now we're going to show you guys a couple of quick examples. So we got our offering memorandums here. There's a couple different examples, okay? Here's a deal in Los Angeles, an apartment building listed by Taylor Avakian. And then we have a couple more deals as well. We're going to do a new chat Claude code. I'm going to drag and drop that OM. I'm going to hit / broker vault ingest. And we're going to hit send. Okay, I'm using Sonnet 5, guys, by the way, but I want to talk you through this real quick. So first and foremost, it's going to read that offering memorandum. Okay, and then it should read that skill. All right, and then what I'm excited to show you guys in just a matter of moments here is what happens in our vault. All right, so it might ask us a couple clarifying questions because I'm Jake Heller, but this offering memorandum is listed by someone else entirely. So it might just ask us for some clarifying answers on that. Let's just see, but we're going to give it a second here to work. All righty, so we got a little bit of a plan here, which is good. All right, so Claude came up with a filing plan for us. And what it's saying is that it's going to add a new listing with this markdown file. It's going to add a new contact, Taylor Avakian, and then also Freddie, who's part of that broker team. It's going to add some comps. The OM had some comps for us to include, which is wonderful. There's going to be some market notes, and then it's going to save that attachment as well. So it's asking me for approval, which I am going to give. So we hit approved here, and then Claude is going to start organizing that information into our Obsidian vault. We're going to hit always allow. And so now it is creating that contact card for Taylor Avakian. Let's just see. There it is. Beautiful. Right on cue, Claude. Good job. And you can see our little graph here, things starting to connect to one another. All right. But now in our contacts folder, we have Freddie, information on him, which is wonderful. And this is great, right? Like once you're in the business long enough and you make an effort to build out this Obsidian vault, you're going to have a vendor database unlike anything else. We're essentially building a proprietary database, which we're going to be able to leverage the most incredible insights from, right? Think about, okay, hey, who do I know that's a contractor in the 90026 zip code? It's going to look at your vault. Or who does landscaping in this particular area? Or who focuses on this type of asset in South LA, whatever it might be. And so it's going to continue building here. We also have one for Taylor Avakian. It includes their license number, their email, their phone number, everything, which is pretty incredible. All right, and so let's go back to Claude. We're going to hit always allow. And now it's going to start saving these comps. And this is awesome, okay? I'm going to show you guys in real time. So look at this. So now we have added 6 comps to our Obsidian vault. This is especially powerful, right? Because we could start to ask, what's the average price per unit for apartments in this zip code? And once we start to have enough comps in this database, we're going to have this proprietary comp set, right? Instead of giving all these comps in our information to the third-party tools like CoStar, Crexy, etc. Crexy is awesome, by the way. CoStar, not so much. But we're going to have our own proprietary comp base, all right? Which it's going to be built with our proprietary data. And that's awesome, okay? So you can start to see, look, you pop into the 259 North Burlington Avenue, Lucas Avenue, right? Robinson Street, and it's going to have all of this information for it. All right, so we'll let it keep working. We're going to let it build out the rest of our vault here. I'm going to have it ingest one more offering memorandum. We want to give it some real context to work off of. So while that's happening, I'm just going to go ahead and tee it up. So broker vault ingest. We're going to take that second offering memorandum here, and we'll go ahead and queue it up. All right. So all of our records have been filed. Okay, and you can see our Obsidian vault. Look at this little knowledge graph that we have here. There's Bellevue in the middle, and then everything that connects to it. All right, and so we have market notes as well. Look at this chart with all of these different rent comparables. Pretty cool. So let's go ahead and ingest this second offering memorandum. And so just like last time, what will happen is it's going to come up with a filing plan. It's going to ask for our approval. We'll give the approval. and then it'll go ahead and start ingesting that information. Once we do that, okay, I'm going to show you guys how to query the database. So let's hit always allow, and we will let that run. No duplicates found. This is all new data. Thank you very much, Claude. Duh. Here's my filing plan. I'm going to go ahead and just already write approved. Why not? Look at that. It's so intelligent. Hit approved. All right. And now it's going to add that property as a listing. Okay. So we have that first property. Here's the listing. Beautiful. Look at that. It's going to add that second property, the contacts as well. So it just added the two brokers, Sean Rosenzweig, Josh Zimmerman, the boys. It's adding all of these new comps now. And you can see, look at our knowledge graph here, starting to become more and more comprehensive. Okay, and you can start to see how everything kind of connects to one another. Beautiful. Let's just make sure Claude doesn't need any of our permissions here. Nope, we are A-OK. And so it's going to continue to work through that here. Wonderful. So the second offering memorandum has been fully ingested. Love to see it. Good job. We have a wealth of information, as you can see here. And now look what happens to our documents folder. I'm going to show you guys our folder structure here. Okay, so initially we started with really nothing, right? Now we have this really deep vault. Only 2 deals it's ingested. Imagine hundreds of deals, thousands of deals. Imagine the information that you could pull from. Incredible. It all starts with the data, guys. So let's just look at our contacts. So now we have 4 contacts in our contacts folder. We have several comps. Wonderful. Now, let me show you guys how to query this database here. All right. And I might say something like this. Whisperflow. Using only the sales comps stored in our vault, what is the average sale price per unit? We'll keep it short and sweet, but just want to showcase to you guys how it's going to access this information. It should do it pretty easily. We're going to hit allow. And what's going to happen is that Claude's going to go into our vault. It's going to read that README file, the Constitution, remember, okay? And then it's going to go and look for all that information that we're asking for. I read through all 11 sale comp notes in this folder, and I pulled price and units from each. There's no price per unit field in the comp template. So I calculated price divided by units per comp. So smart, Claude, so smart. Matching the same method the source OMs used for their own averages. All right. And so it pulled all of those comps, and now it gave to us our average sale price per unit across all 11 comps, which is $240,798. Guys, we just queried our database, asked for some specific information. We're going to go ahead and do that again here. All right. So what I'm going to say is broker vault query. One of the offering memorandums was for a deal in South LA. So let's see if Claude is smart enough. If I were to say, I'm looking for a broker in my database who focuses on South Los Angeles real estate. It should grab Sean Rosenzweig. Let's see if it does. If it doesn't, that's going to be embarrassing, but I'm pretty confident that it will, because the only other deal we had in there is for South LA. Found a match, though with a caveat worth flagging, but there it is. Sean Rosenzweig and Josh Zimmerman of Marcus and Millichap. Guys, they're the listing agents for that South LA deal. Here's their emails, their contact info, their license number. So again, the more that goes into this vault, this database, the more context the AI has, okay? So that's the entire system, guys. What we just showed you in a very short amount of time was how to build an AI memory layer using Obsidian. In other words, a knowledge base, your own proprietary data set, and it lives locally on your computer. I must say that if you're working within a team environment, it is a bit challenging to use an Obsidian vault. All right, and the reason is because all of that information is stored locally on your computer, which anyone who's not using your computer won't really have access to. Now, there are workarounds, okay? You could store the vault in a shared Dropbox, Box, or Google Drive. You can create a GitHub repository for it. There is an Obsidian sync. We're not going to get too technical for the time being. However, if you are a sole practitioner, setting up an Obsidian vault, just as we had showed to you guys here, is so incredibly powerful. It's going to keep compounding. You're going to be able to pull insights that you never even thought were possible. All right. Now, don't be afraid of the work involved with maintaining this database. Okay. Let the AI do it for you. All you do is just drag and drop. Start small, guys. We kept it super basic and easy for you here. This is really just high level, but just get in there and do it. So I hope that was helpful. We're going to see you guys again next time. And if you want the latest and greatest on AI and technology in commercial real estate, guys, check out AI4CREcollective.com, the independent publication tracking exactly how technology is changing real estate. Again, AI4CREcollective.com. We will see you next time.